All right. It's the end of the day. Beer time. So, she gone. It's out. Um, see, I got the short block over there. We got way too much stuff going on in here. I got the cylinder heads up on the bench. All of my parts, the rock arms, push rods, carburetors, distributors up there. And I got to clean up these tools, put them away. But the engine's out. And I'll be honest with you guys. I wasn't expecting the response that I got, mentioning going to an LS. I guess my reasoning for going to an LS is that there's a lot more readily available parts, and we're bracket racing, and I could do a stroker, small block olds without a problem. I know what's entailed, but you're going to be $5,000 to $6,000 into the short block. I've priced it out. Not my first rodeo. I've thought about it, and it's going to be about $5,000 to $6,000 to do it right. And then at the end of the day, we're still going to be running iron heads. So like, it just snowballs. And I know I could probably build a decent LS in the power range I want to work where I want it to work. For, $5,000 to $6,000 for a complete engine. That's what it's looking like, at least based off of talking with my buddy who's done a bunch of LS swaps on a bunch of cars. He runs like a 10-second G-body wagon with twin turbos that's a total sleeper. And that's using a lot of stock stuff, but we're not going to be boosting it. It's going to be just naturally aspirated. And obviously we would need some good heads, which is part of the equation. We're going to be just using the short block. And we're going to be looking for, I think I mentioned the LQ9, the one with the Cadillac HO with the flat tops. Good set of heads, good cam, and a single plane carbureted intake. We're going to go carbureted on it because, again, I want to keep everything kind of simple. And it's just, for me, at this point, it's like the availability of stuff for Oldsmobiles. It's not that it's not there. It's just everything's expensive. I mean, I priced it out, and I talked to one of the Olds vendors that has the stroker kits and everything, and all said and done with machining, you're looking at $5,000 to $6,000 for just a short block, and that's not even dressed. So at the end of the day, you take into consideration an entire engine, you're talking almost $8,000, which, it's not bad, but again, what I do, keeping everything budget-minded and friendly, I think it's just kind of the next step to go. And I wouldn't be doing the LS because it's what's out there, because I could do a small block Chevy, but I don't want to do a small block Chevy because even though there's a ton of parts, it's a little outdated. But I'm not going to say that it doesn't work, because my buddy's flying on a 422 small block Chevy running, 1050s on the 85. And that thing buzzes, man. So, really, it just comes down to personal preference. And I think I want to go the LS route mainly because of I can use some of the stock components. It'll be a pretty sturdy foundation, and it should hold up based off of, my friend's firsthand experience with a lot of the stuff. The power levels that I would throw at it, like I said, I think anywhere between 425, 475 horsepower is kind of what we're after. It's not a lot. I don't think we'd be hurting anything, especially if we do a 6.0. And that's my thinking if I go to an LS. But this isn't going to happen overnight or anything. We have the other engine to put in here, and that has to blow up first. And if something could come along where maybe saving this engine will be a viable option. But right now I'm thinking of unloading a bunch of stuff unless something comes up. So really, I'm keeping an open mind. I'm trying to see what I could do. I got a bunch of core engines I want to keep the one, but I'm trying to get rid of the two. And really, I want to keep the one for the Pontiac because that would be a good runner to just have ready for this. And I got a backup transmission that actually the fluid in that thing was really, really clean. So I can't wait to go through that one. But yeah, I think, if I was to throw a set of rods in this engine and rebalance it and sleeve the cylinder, it would probably be a $1,500 repair, which isn't too bad. But again, neither here nor there, because I could buy, an LS. The engine I'm looking for is about $1,300, and I'm not doing it right away. We're going to run the other small block olds, and we're going to finish out our racing season. And if everything continues to be good, then there's no reason to change it out. But if something goes happen between what I have, then yeah, I think I'm going to venture off and try something different. And it sounds, but again, at this point, to me, it's like running an olds isn't unique anymore because a lot of people have done it. I mean, it's nothing new. The engines have been around for over 50 years. It's just unique to the car because it's an olds engine, and you don't see a lot of them running. But at the same time, I want something out of the car. Mainly, it's the reliability, which we really did have with the old engine. So I'm counting on that. That old engine is going to go back in here and, run another 2, 3, 4 seasons. Who the fuck knows? Because that engine, we had no troubles with it, and everything was always good on that thing. So, again, the failure on the J-headed small block, I think it's just the stress, the weight of the piston, and possibly the work that was done to the rods, along with the heating of the pressing and just the stress cycle, the heat cycles and all that. Just the pin walked out. It is what it is, It's just a failure point. But during the week, I got to make a ramp to get the engine out of the basement. I have to find a way to hoist it up, and then also just get it installed. Hopefully next weekend, get it in the car, button it up, put fluids in it, and maybe get it fired up by the end of the weekend. That would be really good. If I have time, that'd be really good. But we're going to be cutting it close, real close. So, yeah, there's going to be stuff needed to be done. And hopefully I can get the engine installed and we'll be ready to go for the next race. So stay tuned. I just figured I'd fill you guys in on what I got done today. We got plenty done this weekend considering I didn't do anything yesterday on it. And it kind of is what it is. But yeah. Stay tuned. We're going to swap engines and we're going to see what it does. We're going to keep in mind that engine kind of got freshened up a little bit. We blueprinted the oil pump. Cylinder heads got more work done to them. The intake got a little bit more porting done to it. And I think, it might be good for a couple tenths. Who knows? But we're not going to be chasing ET while we're out there bracket racing. It just has to work. It has to go down the track and run the number. So probably for starters, we're just going to cut back the shift point to 6,000 RPM and run it out the back door through mufflers, and that's it. So I say that, but if I can get to a test and tune before, we're going to run it wide out. The weather's been really nice. So, who knows? If there's a cool night, I might go for it. But either way, again, thanks, guys, for the comments and the kind words. You guys, it's kind of encouraging to stay with olds. I guess you guys really want to see me continue with olds, which is kind of nice. But my mindset is kind of elsewhere just because of what I want to do with the car and, just where I'm at mentally and the genericness of the engine and the availability makes it a really, really good point where, if something goes wrong with a cylinder head, you can probably find one cylinder head and just, instead of having one fix, you just put it on and you're done. And, the short blocks are generic and, like everything is kind of, yeah, it's kind of cookie cutter, but there's also something nice. There's something to be said about that. So, if something goes wrong, you don't got like one-off parts where you got to wait or you got to order or it's in batch or something, etc., etc., etc. So I'll let you guys go. Share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. You know, got a bunch of subscribers lately, so we're not going to completely let you down. We're still running Oldsmobile power until that engine goes, and then we have to regroup unless something else comes up. And I'm kind of hinting at something on that end, but I can't for sure say anything just yet. So we'll let you guys go.